How's it going, guys? Charles J Films here. You guys can call me CJ. I'm actually going to be doing a different kind of video today. We're going to be talking about cameras and how serious I think they are when it comes to learning film and getting started. So when I was actually starting out, I started out with nothing but a Razor. If you guys know what Razors are, they're probably the dopest phones that have ever existed. I'm probably going to cop another one, throw away my iPhone, and get sailing to a remote island. But anyways, I think they're great. When I was younger, I actually thought, it was really cool how you could pause the footage while you're recording. That actually is really what started it out. I was like, dang, this is just like the movies, how they cut. I was like, I got it in the bag, let's get it. So I grabbed my friends, I grabbed my brother, and we literally just shot stuff in our garage, and I showed my parents and they were like, this is funny. I kept doing it though, and my dad ended up getting me a $100 Jazz camera. It's like $5, $15 on eBay now. But yeah, no, it was 720p HD, and I was like, my mind was blown at the time. It was the most clear image I've ever seen come out of a camera. So I started going with that, and it took me a couple of years to really understand it. I watched videos on YouTube. I did a lot to try to figure out how I could get it working the way I wanted to, and I felt like I was ready. At 15, I started working on a script, House 24. It took me 6 months to make. It was like a 40-minute film. Burned that thing on DVD, made cases and everything, the whole 9 yards, honestly. But that actually taught me a lot about film and how to, actually make a video, what goes into it, the production, actors, all of that. At 15, it was crazy. I learned a lot, and that really is what actually got me to get the Canon 60D. That's actually the next camera that I got. At the time, it was like top-notch, 1080p, but the biggest downfall that I found to it at the time was that you couldn't do 1080p at 60 frames, and I felt like I needed that. I made a few videos, I made a lot of skits, a lot of fun videos with that one. Nothing really serious. The most serious thing I did was probably Stalker, and that was probably the most high quality thing I've done with the camera. But actually the same application that made that one look so great is the same thing that I tried with the Lumix, and voila, the same outcome happened. But I'll get to that in a minute. But the camera was great. It was decent. I mean, I still have it to this day. It's a workhorse. It's a beast. Like, I don't know what else to call it. This thing just won't die. But I mean, who's trying to kill a Canon 60D, right? The next topic, when it comes to really trying to master a camera, you really just got to spend time with it. I think that's actually the first thing that you have to do really when you get a camera, any camera. Try to master it. Film as much as you can with as minimal as possible. That's how you figure out how it lacks. That's where you figure out what needs to be brought up in order for it to get the image that you want. If a camera comes right out the box and just looks great all around, please send me a link to that camera, DM it to me. Nah, I'm playing. So it really is just about, mastering your camera, mastering what you have, and knowing how to manipulate it or just bring it to at least a decent enough area for you to tell your story, because that actually is my next point. Story is the most important thing. Whether you're doing a commercial, whether you're doing a music video, whether you're doing a short film, it doesn't matter. Your plot points, your flow, your story is always what it's going to come down to. You can have a crappy camera, you can have an iPhone, it doesn't matter. You can make all of that work. Matter of fact, there's a whole feature film that was actually filmed on an iPhone 7, and that you wouldn't even be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. If you look up the movie Unsane, tell me you could tell that that's an iPhone without me telling you. You can't. You're a liar if you said. What he did was he saw where the iPhone shined. He saw what kind of different angles it could give you. He used that to his full advantage. I don't know what the director is. I forgot his name. I don't really watch many of his movies, but he's a pretty good director. I know he's up there. I know he's high up there. Shoot. But I know he's high up there. And the fact that he actually going for that camera it was pretty much just him flexing on other directors. Really. I mean, honestly. Why else would you want to go for an iPhone over an Arri Alexa when he could have easily gotten that budget to do so? But who knows? Anyway, that's besides the point. It really just comes down to how much you know your camera. And when it comes to low grade cameras, when it comes to the camera I have is a $500 Lumix G7, and that's been my workhorse for the past year, and it's really been doing fantastic. I mean, especially my most recent video, that one is really where I have put it to its max capacity. I believe that I've mastered this camera, and that's actually why I'm going to be moving on to bigger and better cameras. Right now I'm going to be renting out just to test it out. I'm not going to release what it is just yet, but you guys will see soon. I'll do a product review after my first week with it and let you guys know how my experience with it has been at that point. But anyway, back to this camera. it is not a bad camera for the price range. You actually get a 4K camera for $500, and that was the biggest seller point. I was like, what? 4K, $500? No, but 4K, $500, say less. I got that camera and it was a very decent camera out the box. Of course, anything in the viewfinder is gonna make it look good, so be wary about that. Definitely use it as reference. It's great for reference, but the thing that G7 did, the thing that Lumix did to try to get you on your snazzy, they don't want you to get $500 4K. They tease you with the $500 4K. That's what they really do. Because once you get the 4K, you're like, oh, I'm about to slap a monitor on this. Nope, you can't, because Lumix doesn't allow that. They don't want you to put a monitor on that, because once you start recording, it cuts out. It cuts out. The only thing you can do is run this app. I got the app. It's decent, but it come on. It's like the same size as the actual monitor. That's how they mess with you. This is a Plus phone. Same size as the actual monitor. When it comes to the camera and the specs, you know, you really want to research that. You really want to research what you're really looking for, not in the camera, but actually just in the actual footage. Like, what examples have you looked up that have done what you're doing, so that way you can actually compare. That way you can see what they're trying, really study your craft at this point, because it is very actually important to study these other elements, because that's really where your video and your whole project is going to shine. It's definitely tempting to go and buy the most expensive camera that you have, that has good low light, that has a great sensor, all of that, and you can. There are options out there that allow you to do that. The Sony A7 Mark III is a great example. But I mean, unless you got money, if you got money, ball out. Ball out. I'm talking to the penny pinching film directors like me who are trying to make it in this world, this crazy industry. Everybody got money to throw around, and you just like, I just want to make videos. So this is to you. I see y'all. That's really what you got to do. You're going to have to focus on how you're going to be able to pull off what you want to do with what you have. When you master what your camera lacks, that's when you can actually figure out how to pick up where it does. So like the video behind me, we actually planned this one out perfect enough to where the video actually looks way beyond a $500 camera, and that is good. That's always what you want. But the only reason why we were able to do that is because we had to plan out the sunrise. We had to plan out where the sun was going to come up. We had to plan what time we were going to show up. This was about an hour and a half drive for me. I had to wake up at 3 o'clock. It was worth it though. Definitely my best project and definitely my favorite. But it really just comes down to planning. It really comes down to mastering what you have and using what you have, and then lighting. Bright pixels or sharp pixels. Lighting is a whole different topic that I might get to. I'm still working on lighting, but I'm rambling on a little bit. So that's all that I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you got something from it. If not, let me know what you want to hear. I need to hear from you guys, because I can't read your minds. I can't read your minds through this. You guys gotta hit me up. You guys gotta let me know what you want to hear. I'm down to talk. I'm down to figure this out, because we're both learning this. So let's learn it together. But other than that, film on. Peace out. I will see you guys in the next video.